Welcome to the metropolis, the big city. This is where tech, trends, and culture meet. Meet the people. See the sights. Walk the city streets. And experience the lifestyle. This is your first-class ticket to the cities of the world. Portland. Portland is the largest city in the U.S. state of Oregon and the seat of Multnomah County. You'll find it in the Willamette Valley region of the Pacific Northwest, at the confluence of the Willamette and Columbia rivers. The city covers 145 square miles or 380 square kilometers and is the 26th most populous city in the U.S. Portland is known for the great outdoors. It's got a lot of dense urban neighborhoods surrounded by the natural splendor of the Great Northwest. There's the Mount Hood to the east and Cannon Beach to the west, and each are less than a 90-minute drive. There's also the forest part within the city. It's the nation's largest urban forest. The park also has over 100 miles of hiking and bike trails. And there are a lot of more additional parks and rose gardens about town. And then there's Portland's microbrewed beer. Within the city, you'll probably find at least 30 craft breweries, and the city is known to have the most beer makers than any other town in the world. In fact, Portland has been the pioneer of the craft beer movement, and that's for more than 30 years already. The art scene is also alive and bustling in Portland. There's a new exhibit that opens every first Thursday of each month. Visitors also have the opportunity to walk through the gallery districts, visiting numerous receptions featuring art, wine, and music. The Portland Art Museum is one of the nation's 25 biggest, with a permanent collection that includes works ranging from antiquity to postmodern. Where there's art, there's music too. Portland's music scene isn't as mainstream, but since Kingsmen recorded their famous version of Louie Louie in 1963, Portland has been a consistent force in popular music. The best way to get through Portland? Biking. It's not just a hobby, but it's part of the city's culture. Many of its residents commute to work via bike and has the highest number of people who do so, compared to other American cities. It's got many off-street paved trails that allow cyclists to have safe access to many Portland neighborhoods and scenic areas. San Francisco. Officially the city and county of San Francisco, it is considered the cultural, commercial, and financial center of Northern California and the only consolidated city-county in California. It takes up a land area of about 46.9 square miles or 121 square kilometers. It is located on the northern end of the San Francisco Peninsula, making it the smallest county in the state. It is also the most densely settled large city in the state of California and the second most densely populated major city in the U.S. The city and its surrounding areas are known as the San Francisco Bay Area and are known for many things. However, fog usually invades the city, so residents and visitors must be prepared for the massive chill-down. This usually happens in the months of July to August, where locals then make use of air conditioning. The beaches are the best in March or November. You must definitely see the tidal wave fog that pours over the Twin Peaks, or the fog seeping through the soaring suspension cables of the famous Golden Gate Bridge. And then there are the hills. San Francisco boasts of up to 47 hills, yet unnamed. You can enjoy a view of it via cable car. Stare down in awe at the rows of cars parked in 90-degree angles, side by side, like dominoes. Then, stop by the best vistas: Telegraph Hill, Russian Hill, Nob Hill, Twin Peaks, Potrero Hill, Buena Vista Heights, and Pacific Heights. These are where you can marvel at the unique panoramas where land and sea meet. And then there are the festivals, which are practically non-stop in this city. The world's oldest gay pride parade is held here, and so is the largest Chinese New Year festival that occurs outside China. San Francisco definitely knows how to throw a party. The most popular festivals include the film festivals, street fairs, the unruly Bay to Breakers road race, from Stern Grove's free concerts to the weekend extravaganza of outside lands. The city is in fact home to Twitter, Zynga, Craigslist, and Yelp, with Google, Facebook, Yahoo, and PayPal just down the road. Ho Chi Minh. Ho Chi Minh City, or more popularly known as Saigon. It is the largest city in Vietnam. The metropolitan area and its surrounding towns is populated by more than 10 million people, thus making it the most populous metropolitan area in Vietnam as well. Many of the top attractions in Saigon revolves around its experiences in the 20th century war and conquest. Walking around the city, you're sure to see its classic French architecture to perfectly maintained American warplanes. Ho Chi Minh is like the historic past coming to life right before your eyes. Today, you'll also see skyscrapers slowly building in the city, combining old and new structures that still make it a uniquely Vietnam city. It is indeed Vietnam's biggest city and business capital. There's the War Remnants Museum, a sobering and unforgettable museum where you'll see the effects of the 30-year-long war between Vietnam and America. There, you'll see preserved tanks, planes, and other war machines in the outside grounds. Then there's the Cu Chi Tunnels, where visitors can experience what it must have been like for soldiers beneath the tunnels. During the war, these soldiers used an extensive network of tunnels to move around undetected by their enemies. You'll also learn more about its history with an informative film and a guided tour. The Cao Dai Temple is the center of the Cao Dai faith. This is the religion that has taken bits of Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, Taoism, and Confucianism. Tourists are welcome to visit the temple and learn more about this faith that is practiced by a few dedicated followers. Next is the Jade Emperor Pagoda, which is one of the most revered temples in Ho Chi Minh. It was originally built in 1909 by Chinese immigrants. Now, this Taoist temple welcomes Buddhist worshipping and is incredibly atmospheric with incense smoke hanging heavy in the air. Also, one of the most popular is of course the Saigon Notre Dame Cathedral. It was built in the late 1880s by French colonists and is one of the few remaining strongholds of Catholicism in the Buddhist Vietnam. Located in Paris Square, the name Notre Dame was given after the installation of the statue Peaceful Notre Dame in 1959. Palm Springs. Palm Springs is a desert resort city in the Riverside County, California, United States, within the Coachella Valley. Palm Springs being about 94 square miles or 240 square kilometers in size, it becomes the largest city in the country by land area. The city is famous for its mid-century modern architecture and the design elements that come from it. You can also indulge in it by trying out everyday activities such as biking, golf, hiking, horseback riding, swimming, and tennis, which are all major recreational activities in Palm Springs. The most popular is golf. There are numerous things Palm Springs is known for, and these are a few. First is that it is considered Hollywood's hideaway. Because during Hollywood's golden age, actors were contractually bound to stay within 100 miles of the studio for last-minute shoots. And because of this, stars like Marilyn Monroe, Frank Sinatra, and Dean Martin traded the hustle and bustle of Hollywood for palm trees and poolside cocktails in Palm Springs, exactly 100 miles from Hollywood. But today, celebrities, the A-list ones, continue to flock to the desert for the Palm Springs International Film Festival, the Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival, and the Stagecoach Country Music Festival. This is where you can experience a taste of Hollywood and the desert by touring the Walk of the Stars in downtown Palm Springs. Meanwhile, the city is also a breathtaking place to appreciate modernism design. From floor-to-ceiling glass windows to clean lines and simple designs in its defined architecture, you'll see how the city's design heritage is evident in its structures. Last but not least is the natural beauty of Palm Springs. This is all thanks to the fault lines and deserts to waterfalls and natural oases that surround the city. You can go ahead and experience the desert for yourself via the hiking trails. There are numerous ways possible. But the most popular ones include the Indian Canyon Trails, the Bump and Grind Trail, and the Coachella Valley Preserve. That's the 17,000-acre site with trails that wind through the San Andreas Fault. Definitely a must-try for adventurous tourists. Siem Reap, the Cambodian center of culture. It's got glittering temples, street food that you should definitely try, and bustling markets to discover and explore. Travelers love flocking to Siem Reap, and there are many reasons why. Of course, there's the popular Angkor Wat temple complex, but there are many more to discover aside from that. Just brave enough to explore more of the area to discover what a gem Siem Reap in Cambodia is. The city boasts of a colonial and Chinese-style architecture in the Old French Quarter and around the Old Market. Here, there are the museums, traditional Apsara dance performances, a Cambodian cultural village, souvenir and handicraft shops, silk farms, rice paddies in the countryside, fishing villages, and a bird sanctuary near the Tonle Sap Lake. It's definitely become one of the popular tourist destinations today, with its large number of hotels, resorts, restaurants, and businesses specially made for tourism. But really, most frequent the city for its Angkor temples, which are undoubtedly the most popular tourist attraction in Cambodia. Temple hopping is certainly a must-do here. It's recommended that you begin with Angkor Wat in the sunrise, land a spot in either just outside of the temple or inside, right by the famous lake, so that you can snap that iconic reflection photo. And then, of course, you should stop by the floating village. Those that want to marvel at the fisherman's way of life will want to visit Tonle Sap Lake. This, in fact, is Southeast Asia's largest freshwater lake and the place to be to witness how the fishermen live. Wooden houses are built on long, sturdy stilts to avoid possible floods, thus making it an area perfect for fishing. Last but not least is the night market. It's a place you must visit because Siem Reap's nightlife, in fact, doesn't happen at the bars but in this market. The Angkor Wat night market will dazzle you with Khmer artwork, local handicrafts, and sumptuous street food. And it's just a 2-minute walk from the famous pub street, so you can definitely make the most out of your time in the evening. Prague. The largest and capital city of the Czech Republic, Prague. It is also the 15th largest city in the European Union and is also the historical capital of Bohemia. It is located in the northwest of the country on the Vltava River and is considered home to up to 1.26 million residents. The city has quite a temperate climate with warm summers and chilly winters. Some of the popular attractions in Prague include the Prague Castle, the Charles Bridge, Old Town Square with the Prague Astronomical Clock, the Jewish Quarter, Petrin Hall, and Vyšehrad. Also, since 1992, the extensive historic center of Prague has been included in the UNESCO list of World Heritage Sites. Meanwhile, Prague is also frequented for its Czech beer. Pivo, which means beer, and pivnice, the place to drink beer, are just some of the words you need to learn to find it. Prague, after all, is one of the places in the world where beer is cheaper, even more affordable than fruit juice. Prague is a city with a very medieval feel. It is crammed with narrow alleys and cobblestone streets, which have become great sights to see too. The best way to get around Prague is on foot, so it's best to wear the proper shoes for walking. The sidewalks in Prague are paved with exquisite mosaics of white, gray, and red granite cubes, and its full bumps jotting corners and deep groves. So tourists have to be careful while walking and sightseeing at the same time. Prague is also termed the City of 100 Spires. Stand on the Letna Hill and you'll see a forest of towers stretched before you. Water towers, church spires, donjons, and steeples reach towards the sky. Rows upon rows of drab, prefabricated high-rise apartment blocks stand tall on the periphery, reminders of the social realism style. Indeed, Prague prides itself with several thousands of towers and spires. Last but not least are its historical hotspots. The Charles Bridge bristles with statues and is a popular hangout for visitors. This is where they want to listen to the buskers and buy souvenirs from the hawker's stand. They've also got an old town square that's filled with cafes in summer, and the Christmas market in winter is a traditional heart of the city. Las Vegas. Officially named the city of Las Vegas, but more often called Vegas. It's the most populous city in the state of Nevada, the county seat of Clark County, and the city proper of the Las Vegas Valley. You've probably heard of it because of its popular gambling, shopping, dining, and nightlife hotspots. But more than that, it is known as the leading financial, commercial, and cultural center for Southern Nevada. It was in 1931 that Nevada legalized gambling, and Las Vegas took the lead to make the place to be for that. Soon after, Vegas went on to make a name for itself as one of the thrilling places to be when you're looking for a place to bet. It's not just about the casinos. You'll find slot machines, poker machines, and many convenience stores right at the airport. Then, of course, there's the Strip, the city's iconic thoroughfare, where you can gamble as you please. There are more game machines, sports, books, table games, and more to choose from. There's the blackjack and the craps, and the roulette and keno. Beginners and frequent visitors alike always have a fun time in Vegas, guaranteed. Another of Vegas's top attractions, quite literally, are the showgirls. They walk on stage with huge feathered headdresses, wear high heels and sequined bikinis. Definitely not a sight to miss. In fact, the showgirls have become emblematic of the city. They can be spotted for a performance in the Jubilee, one of the Strip's ongoing production shows. Speaking of the Strip, it was once known as the Las Vegas Boulevard. It's about a 5-mile stretch where you'll find some of the world's largest hotels. And finally, one of the top things Vegas is known for, the celebrities. Celebs in Vegas come to town for many reasons: to attend events, host parties at nightclubs, or even grace the stages in the shows themselves. Vegas is a place to be to bump into celebs, from the A-list types to the reality show stars. They love to frequent the place to get caught by the paparazzi. And then, of course, the visitors come to the place to get a glimpse of them. It's time for us to go! Pack your bags and get your tickets ready. And we'll see you on the next destination. Catch us again next time on Cities of the World.